I have a lot of questions for you.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, are you ready?
Well, whatever it is true.
Okay, well then we're going to go home. No, I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. What wrestling shows did you ever watch before you got into wrestling?
Just the Nick Gulas show that came out of Memphis on the old black and white TVs back in 1965, 68. I saw all those people, and I believe that bullshit they were saying about diamond rings and limousines and all this stuff. So I thought, man, this must be a great life.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe what Sputnik Monroe was saying. You know, he was a diamond ring Cadillac man. So
that's what you wanted to do.
Well, it's too bad Sputnik's not around to defend himself, Rottenhammer. You were full of shit, Sputnik. There's no such thing as diamond rings and limousines.
Oh, please. You worked in the WWE. You had all that. Okay, now speaking of Nick Gulas. Okay, speaking of Nick Gulas, so what are your thoughts about him? Because I heard that he was the worst payoff guy for all the old timers said that.
You know, it depends on who you ask. I mean, he paid some guys very well and some guys he didn't pay. Same with Vince McMahon pays some people very well and some people he don't pay worth a shit either. I mean, so...
Wasn't that how it always is?
And from this TNA, from what I understand, they're paying a lot of people some money and they're paying a lot of people no money.
I know. I know. And the people that deserve the money, that get the ratings, don't get the money.
But here's the thing. They say... Vince killed the business. Vince's business is doing very well.
Exactly.
It's guys that work underneath in TNA that's killing the business because they're working for free.
Well, yeah.
And then they're bitching because they have to go to these towns and not getting paid. Come on. If you don't want to work, don't go.
God,
if you want to make money, ask for the money.
But you know, when you're just starting out, though, didn't
That's
you
right.
have to work and pay your dues?
Yeah,
I mean, listen, let them go work for Bill Watts for like a little while.
I had $10 a match. Yes, I sure did. And I spent 20 of it just to get to and from the town, of course. But I guess you have to do it. But there's a certain point where you have to say, okay, this is it. I'm not going to do this anymore for free.
Right. Okay, speaking of Gulas, what about George Gulas? Did you ever see him wrestle? And the legend is that he was one of the worst wrestlers out there, but it was based on nepotism.
George was not that bad in the ring. I had a lot of matches with him. Bobby Eaton was his tag team partner. They would call the Jet Set. But, you know, I mean, if you go back and look at some old stuff out of Minneapolis, I would equate Greg Gagne pretty much about the same as George Gulas. I mean, Daddy's boy.
Well, yeah. I mean, it always helps. I mean, God, if my daddy owned a wrestling company, gosh,
you could be the next Dixie instead of the next Missy.
But I have a brain. Sorry. Did I touch? Sorry, she's a do. It's all right. Did Tojo can't even say it. Tojo Yamamoto.
Tojo.
Right? I'm thinking of somebody else. Sorry. Yeah, Tojo. Did he break you in?
No, Herb Welch broke me in.
Oh, okay.
Tojo was working with Jarrett and then Tojo was my tag team partner when I came from out of Japan and out of Puerto Rico. We were tag team together.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, I want your thoughts on Jerry Lawler and Jerry Jarrett breaking off from Nick Gulas and promoting opposition. And do you think that Jerry had the boys' best interests based off of your dealings with him as a promoter?
Which Jerry? There was two of them.
Yeah, there's two Jerrys. I'm not sure. I mean, either or.
They learned their craft from Nick, so they knew what they were doing when they did break away, and they broke away and said, okay, instead of paying $40 for a match, we're going to pay $50. So they got a lot of guys that came to work for them, and at the same time, just shortly after that, what's the fellow in Atlanta? Jim Barnett, he upped the ante to $60. So then he took all the guys and went over to him.
So you have to understand that this was at 70s, right? So that's like today's money. It would be like, what, $250?
Yeah, $200, $250, yeah.
So it
was okay. Yeah, I mean, a gallon of gasoline was what, 35 cents a gallon or something?
Yeah, it couldn't be that
12
bad.
pack of beer was $2. So.
Yeah.
But no, they were both the same. I mean, they weren't that different. I made money with both. Nick paid me, and I can't say anything bad about Nick Gulas. Sure, did he pay some guys nothing? Yes. Did he put 25 Puerto Rican and Mexican boys in one hotel room? Of course he did. But they were willing to go do it.
But I think Puerto Rican and Spanish guys, they're used to staying 25 in a room.
I would say, I guess they still do it out in Phoenix. You know, they'd be in the back of
Oh,
the truck.
you're in Phoenix. You got the great laws now.
There'd be 100 of them out there packed in one truck.
Exactly. You know, that's what I want to do. I want to go and start bringing them across the border for money. You know how much money you're going to make doing that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if they had any money, they'd stay in their own country. That's what I think.
They won't, but thank God you guys have
no,
the
as
laws.
far as Jarrett and Lawler together, they were Nick and his partner Roy Welch was good cop, bad cop. And so Jerry and Jerry were good cop, bad cop. One day Jarrett would be the bad cop. The next day it would be Jerry Lawler, and back and forth. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Okay, well, but how about in 1978 for headliners like yourself? How was the money?
It was okay. I mean, I guess it was okay. I remember Lawler coming to me once and saying he brought his, I don't know, his first ex-wife or third. I'm not sure. Anyway, he says, "Look, I want you to watch this. I'm going to give you, here's your first $1,000 check." And I looked at it, and it was $999. I said, "This is not $1,000 check. It's short." And he looked over at the ex-wife, I forget her name, Paula, I think. He said, "See, Paula, I told you you wouldn't appreciate it."
I think that was the second wife.
Okay. I can't remember. I mean, they have so many, you know, and then they all get upset when you say something about how many rats you might have had in your life in early days of wrestling, and go, "Man, you shouldn't say that stuff. My wife will be really upset." Well, you've only been with this one for a month, you know, and she's only like, I don't know. Well, Flair's got a new wife. How old is she?
Yeah, that really, it really upsets me. I've known him for 25 years, and I haven't been one of his wives.
Yeah.
I'm very upset about that.
Yeah,
I'm just calling that right out right
How
now.
about that? Shit, maybe if I let my hair keep growing up, it'd be, woo! I wouldn't beat you up, Rick. For Christ's sake, let your wife beat you up. Man, that'd look bad.
I would have done it.
That was bad.
Okay, now I got a couple.
One thing I can say about Jake Roberts, now, he never let a woman beat him up.
Oh, you don't even want to go there. All right. How did your partnership with Larry Latham come together? Did I say his name right?
Gosh, yeah, Larry Latham. Larry was with my other cousin, Carl Fergie, and they were
Carl. That's your cousin?
Yeah, they were tag team, and then
Larry. How's he doing?
Carl runs a gym, a Gold's Gym in Jackson, Tennessee. He's been with this fella for, gosh, I don't know, since Bill Watts closed the territory. Carl was doing the ring and refereeing for Bill Watts when they closed it.
Yeah, I know, because I worked with him.
And then he got a job with this fella at this gym, and Carl never went to a gym. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's.
And then the guy gave him a nice big house to live in, and he's done very well there.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
give him my love. Now tell me about Larry Latham. How'd you guys get together?
So Larry and I got together. They had a tag team tournament in Tampa, Florida. And Larry came down from Atlanta. He was working for Ole in Atlanta. And I came down from Memphis. They put us together and called us the Blonde Bombers that night. And from there, we just formed a team, and they kept us in Florida.
So how did you put together that famous Tupelo concession stand?
We didn't really have to do a whole lot about it. It was just one of those things that happened. Lawler and Jarrett were caught in a real bad spot, because Robert Fuller and Ron Fuller and those guys were booking the territory, and they decided that they would up and leave on a Thursday night, which left the Friday night and the coming Saturday morning with no players. And so here we were, just young green kids, and there was a young fella in the locker room, you might remember him, that was there watching that night. His boy was named Eddie Gilbert.
Yes. And, I remember him very well.
Yeah, and anyway, years later, I guess this stuck in his mind, and he went and helped create this ECW thing. Yeah,
well, that's what I'm saying, is that.
But it was something that Jarrett came in the locker room. He says, "Listen, we got a real problem. They all took off on me last night. We don't have anybody for TV for tomorrow morning. We've got to do something." So he came up with the idea right off the top of his head. He says, "You guys go out and have a 3-fall match. At the end of the 3rd fall, you guys cop the belts on Lawler and Dundee, and then just fight all the way, tear the building down."
Wow. Well, are you shocked that it has spawned so many copycats? And it's still talked about today. No. I mean, it's what had happened in 1978, right?
Yeah,
and they're still talking
something
about
like that. Yeah, it was.
How many copycats?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I saw Vince try to duplicate it once with The Rock, and they had all these nice stainless steel things and everything. It looked so shiny and good up in wherever they were in some building, and they tried to tear the place up. And then ECW, of course, they took it from to real extreme. And gosh, they've done them all over the world, as far as I know. But it was for us, it was no big deal. It was controlled chaos.
So now I want to know about the politics that were involved with the Jerry Jarrett using Ron Fuller as his booker and then firing him, and then the Knoxville crew to push yourself and others to bring up the gates.
Well, see, I don't know, because Larry and I were in Tampa, and this was our first week to be back in the territory, because we had decided that things just weren't working out in Tampa. Buddy Rogers was booking, and things just weren't going very well for anybody at that point in time that remembers that scenario with that guy. But we ended up giving our notice and leaving, and we were going to go to Atlanta, but Ole Anderson didn't have a spot for us. He said, everyone from Memphis territory has left. All the Fullers have gone, and Jarrett has nobody. Call him. So we called Jerry Jarrett, and we were in.
That's so cool.
Actually, we might have started that Friday night in Tupelo. Maybe if I'm remembering, I don't remember.
Oh my God! Well, did they pay you well? Did Jerry and Jerry
once we got this angle going and the house was doing good, they paid us. They paid
you fair?
Not like they paid Terry Funk or Austin Idol or Jimmy Valiant or some of those people that they would have in there. But it was, for us young green kids, it was fair.
Okay, well, that's cool. So what's the deal?
I had a lot of rats.
Well, that's what Eddie used to say. He used to say you could always gauge the territory in Memphis by the quality of the arena rats. If they were hot girls, I mean, they had good baby faces and they were making money.
We didn't get the hot ones. We were on nasty heels, so we ended up with the leftovers. But you know what? They have to have love too.
Yeah. Everybody needs some love.
Nobody loves a fat woman, but oh, how a fat woman can love.
Well, isn't it like, is it having sex with a fat woman's kind of like riding a moped? It's fun until your friends see you on it.
I tried to stay.
That's such a bad joke.
I really did try to stay away from those ones as much as I could. But now, getting back to old Fergie there now, he was a whole different can of worms on those ones.
Yeah, Eddie told me about that one time. He said he was messed up, and then he couldn't believe that he did it, and she was really big, and everything like that. So, hey, like you said, everybody needs some love, right?
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.